The trouble Final 10 seconds. Gently place your hands on your eyes. Slowly remove your hands and open your eyes whenever you're ready. Drink plenty of water. I hope you enjoyed the meditation. So welcome to the day 5. We're discussing about the core of spirituality. And yesterday we have discussed about karma and the right understanding of karma, the beauty of karma. So today let us continue. When it comes to the core of spirituality, the first and the foremost which comes to our understanding is you being a master. What is the goal of spirituality? What is the final outcome of being a spiritual person? Is to live a perfected life, to live a life, a king-size life in all the aspects, to enjoy the life to the fullest, to celebrate the life to the fullest, and live your true potential, to be the best version of yourself. You underline this. To be the best version of yourself is the goal of spirituality. In other words, you are living like a master. The way is maunam, which is silence. Number 2, dhyanam, which is meditation. And number 3, jnanam, which is wisdom. And number 4 is service. So these are the 4 pillars. This is the core. These 4 pillars forms the core. The practice of silence is very, very important, my dear friends. Without silence, you cannot get into the highest awareness. Your awareness level increases the more you practice silence. We have many great examples. All our rishis, all the munis and all the yogis, they're always in silence. The great Maharshi, Ramana Maharshi, as a small boy, he wanted to know the truth. So he left the home and he sat on top of the mountain in silence his whole lifetime. And he realized his own truth. He became a great enlightened person through his own silence. And then you take the example of Jesus Christ. He said, I fasted for 40 days. Fasting, he didn't mean the food. He meant fasting of the mind and the words. He didn't open his mouth for 40 days. And he emptied his mind. He fasted all his thoughts. He sat in meditation. So there were records that Jesus has visited India and he practiced meditation. There were records in Tibet where he has visited many Tibetan monasteries and he entered India through Tibet, through Persia, and Tibet, and finally to India. So that putting aside, the very statement he said, I fasted for 40 days, is he was in deep meditation. He was in Mauna, he was in meditation for 40 days. And when he fasted for 40 days, he got all the revelations, became an enlightened person. And in the case of Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad, he was in Mecca, in a cave. He was guided to go into silence, and he was in deep contemplation. He was in a meditative state. Then Archangel Gabriel came, and through him the Quran has come. Muhammad was in total silence in a cave in Mecca, in deep contemplation, reflection, and emptiness. Then the Archangel Gabriel came and gave him the truth, the way of life. So whenever around 40 plus, he was around the age of 40, for the first time he got that guidance. And he was carrying on his affairs. There was so much of wars and so much things. But now and then he used to take time to go into silence, and he used to get the channeling messages through archangels. And he used to discuss that with his followers. And it is written as a book, as a way of life, because he knows that that is the truth. Because when you are in silence, you know what is the truth. Your being knows what is the truth, my dear friends. Your soul knows what is the truth. So many examples. Krishna, when he was a small boy, he did meditation. So, if you think about the core of spirituality, silence comes first. It is in your deep state of silence, a lot of realization happens. It is the first pillar. So we have 4 pillars. The first pillar is silence. And silence simply doesn't mean that you are not opening the mouth, but your mind is active. No. Silence means you are not opening your mouth, but at the same time, you are totally mindful. Your awareness is to the highest. The very purpose of silence is to increase your awareness. Some people, they practice a very strange kind of silence. They say that, oh, today I'm in silence, but they keep watching the WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and they watch movies. That is not silence. The real silence is the silence of the words and the silence of the mind. It is called stillness. So now comes the meditation. The second pillar, meditation. The more you meditate, the more you reduce the thoughts, the more you calm your mind. So the practice of silence, along with meditation, leads you to inner stillness, your mental stillness. The second pillar. We discussed a lot about meditation. Meditation is a very essential step. First comes Mauna, next comes meditation. That's why we have established that ashram in India to inspire the people. We have created such an ambience there. So the moment you enter the ashram, you naturally go into silence. That is the need of the hour on the planet Earth now. So we want the silence ashrams all over the world. But to begin with, we have in India, in Tamil Nadu. So Patri said before vacating the body, a couple of months before vacating the body, he asked me personally that I want this ashram to be the international headquarters for Mauna Dhyan, for silence meditation. So those words were my guidance to relocate to that ashram and develop that ashram. And I can see how it is transforming the people. Without silence, you practice. Without the practice of silence, you're practicing only meditation. It is incomplete. This is the point to remember, my dear friends. With the practice of silence, with the practice of mauna, and with the practice of meditation, it completes. It gives you the inner stillness. Silence plus meditation gives you the inner stillness. And when you're practicing silence and meditation, then mindfulness naturally blossoms. So now coming to the third pillar. There are 4 pillars in the core of spirituality. So these are the 4 things you do, then you are into the core. You are no more into the superficial. Sometimes people get confused. They say that, oh, we are attending so many workshops, we are attending so many retreats, so many classes, so many books. We get confused. Different people say different things. We don't know what to believe. We don't know what is truth, what is not truth. Some people speak about angels, some people speak about DNA, some people speak about healing, some people speak about third eye, some people declare themselves to be a masters, some people say everybody is a master. And sometimes the word enlightenment is being used in such a loose word that they use enlightenment in a very normal way. And they think just by doing few hours of meditation, few days of meditation, they become enlightened. So much of confusion. Now, how do you know in the middle of this confusion, how do you know what is truth, what is not truth? It is your own silence. It is your own inner stillness which will reveal the truth. It is the mauna and the dhyana, the silence and meditation, which will help transform you, and it will help to master your life. Practically, you will come to know what you are, at what stage of evolution you are. You will come to know practically yourself when you practice silence and meditation. Of course, it comes with practice. Overnight, nothing can be changed. It's a slow and steady process. It takes time. It takes many, many years. It takes few lifetimes to master it. But are you doing the right thing today? That matters. Let it take its own time. Let it take any number of lifetimes. It doesn't matter. But are you doing the right thing today? That matters. So the third pillar, my dear friends, is jnana, wisdom. You have to read as many books as possible. And every time you read a spiritual book, your own journey is reflected. You learn a lot about yourself when you read spiritual books. When you read books, you will understand where you are stuck in your journey and what you need to do next. Number 1. So you will understand where is the blockage and where you are stuck and what you need to do, how to move forward. Number 1. And number 2, the more you read books, the more it inspires you to be in the spiritual path. The more it inspires you to do meditation. See, this is all intertwined. It is all interconnected. The more you practice silence, the more naturally you want to go into meditation. The more you do meditation, the more you have the energy to read books, the more you have the right space to read books and understand the depth of the books. And the more you read books, the more it motivates you to practice more silence and practice more meditation and practice more mindfulness. In my own journey, people ask how come you did in the past such intense meditation? How can you dedicate your life for the spiritual journey? In the peak of your career, after you did your master degree, when you're about to launch your career and you dropped everything and you came into this meditation path for 2.5 years, leaving all the luxuries, all the money and all the comforts, you became a hermit. And how did you do it? The secret is the more I did meditation, the more I got the energy to read books. And more I read the books, more it motivated me to do more meditation. So books motivated me to stay in this path until I reach the ultimate of the journey to realize who am I, what am I. I don't want to stop. In spite of all the challenges, there are many challenges. There are financial challenges, there are family pressures, society pressures, everything was there. But still I went forward. And I didn't stop. I never got demotivated because of books. When I read Osho's books, that gave me the courage to go forward in spite of all criticism, in spite of all judgments. So when I read a lot of Western authors, when I read the books of Theosophical Society, it gave me the understanding of afterlife. So for me at that time, that was more important than earning money and setting up, getting settled in my career. So the third aspect, the Swadhyaya aspect, it is through this Swadhyaya, through this Jnana. Jnana can be attained by reading books or listening to masters. You can listen to masters' teachings, you can watch some videos, or you can do Sajjana Sangatyam. You can have a spiritual debate with fellow seekers. So through all those, you get Jnana. Wisdom. You already have some wisdom, you already have some understanding, you already know some truth, but that will be fine-tuned. And your spiritual ego comes to rock bottom. Because if you don't read books, if you don't have spiritual debate, if you don't have Sajjana Sangatyam, if you don't have Guru Sangatyam, then you think you are a great person. But when you listen to others, when you read so many great masters' books, your ego comes to rock bottom. You realize that you are not the only person. There are so many people. There are millions of people before you who are enlightened, and there are millions of people after you who will be enlightened. You are just one among many. So you will have that humbleness. Your spiritual ego comes to rock bottom. And you become simple and humble. When you become simple and humble, you grow, you learn more. If you think you know everything, there is nothing to grow. So the more you are humble, the more you will learn. So the third pillar is Jnana. There is always something to learn. You can learn from everybody. You can learn from all masters. You can learn from so many spiritual organizations. Every spiritual organization has something good. So you can learn from everybody. You can learn from children. You can learn from animals, birds, nature. Your quest to learn should be there. You can learn from everybody. If you have the quest to learn, then the higher masters also will come and teach you. The angels will come and teach you. The star beings will come and teach you. In my case, I have so many experiences where my star friends from the other dimensions, they came and taught me many lessons. Okay. So it doesn't matter through whom you learn, whether you learn from a small child or whether you learn from your parents or whether you learn from your neighbor, whether you learn from your husband, wife, it doesn't matter. Or whether you learn from a star beings or angels, it doesn't matter. But are you learning the lessons or not? That matters. So The third pillar, we're discussing about the core of spirituality. If you want to be a true spiritual person, if you want to be a true spiritual person, not in the surface, not in the superficial level, but you want to go to the core of it, then the first is mauna, the second is dhyana, the third is jnana, which is wisdom. And the fourth is service. It is very, very important. Seva, service. The fourth pillar. Whatever you have to share it with others. It is very important. Why the star beings came and helped me? Because I was giving whatever the wisdom I have, whatever the experiences I have, I was unconditionally giving to everybody. So I became an eligible candidate to receive help. So what you give comes back to you. Multiple folds. So you are doing service not for the sake of others. You are doing service for your own self. That is the core of spirituality. Because it is only in service you will realize oneness, my dear friends. The self-realization happens in your mauna dhyana. But the God realization happens only in service. There is self-realization and the first step is the self-realization, the second step is God realization. Through your own meditation, through your own practice of mindfulness, through your own practice of silence, the self-realization happens naturally. And also when you read books, swadhyaya, say dhyana, swadhyaya, mindfulness, silence, all those aspects helps in your self-realization. When you do service unconditionally, when you help others as you are helping yourself, when you see everybody as the same, when you see everybody as you see yourself in everybody, and you do service unconditionally. Service simply means whatever you have in excess, you give it. Whatever you are capable to give, you give. You know how to do cooking, so teach cooking to everybody. Whoever is interested, share your talents, share your uniqueness, share your wisdom. You know how to meditate. You have to teach meditation. So yesterday we were speaking about karma. When you know how to do meditation, you got the benefits of meditation. And if you don't teach meditation, then it becomes a karma to you. Because you know something is good, and if you don't share that goodness, then it becomes a karma to you. Then you have to take one more lifetime to teach meditation. You can say, sir, I didn't do anything bad. Why it is a karma? It won't come and affect you, but you have to take one more lifetime to teach meditation. Because that is pending. You have all the richness, and you want to keep all the wealth only for you, and you don't want to share the wealth with others. The excess wealth, more than what is needed for you, you don't want to share. You want to keep everything for yourself, for your own greed. Then that also becomes a karma. You have to take one more lifetime to learn the lesson of sharing. Sharing is equal to self-caring. You have to understand this. Sharing is equal to self-caring. People generally say sharing is caring, and people misunderstand. Sharing means caring others. No, sharing means self-caring. Because whatever you share comes back to you. So it is self-care. So the fourth pillar is very, very important for God realization. And the more you do service, and more your past life's karmas accounts get naturally cleared, as we discussed yesterday. More voluntarily you do service, more your karmic accounts get closed. You do only service without meditation, then your account doesn't get closed. Because the lessons are not learned. So when you do meditation, the lessons are learned through your awareness. Along with that, you do service, the accounts are closed. I'll give you some practical examples. You need a lot of awareness to be with this. For example, you will go to a temple. You will go to a temple and there is an Annadana or there is prasad, you will go and eat. Okay. You are a well-to-do person, but when you go to the temple, you eat food, free food. And then you come out of the temple. Then what kind of awareness is that? Because you got the benefit. You ate some food, Annadana, because that is supported by somebody else, that is sponsored by somebody else, that is donated by somebody else. So somebody donated for your food. So now it is your turn to donate for somebody else's food so that the good things carry on, so that the charity work carries on. So you have to be mindful that whatever the help you receive, you have to do your bit. You have to do your part. You go to an ashram, you stay there. Of course, in the ashram, the food is free, the accommodation is free, everything is free. But you should not just go and exploit it. You should not just go and say that, oh, it is free, fine, I have saved, $100. Outside, if I stay in a hotel, I have to pay $100. So I stay in ashram, I saved $100. No. You receive some benefit, you have to give back. This is common sense. This is pure awareness. If you don't give, what happens? You have to take one more lifetime to pay that $100. Because the account is pending. Suppose you don't have money and you are going and eating food there, and that is okay. But you have the money and you receive the support, but you are not contributing it back. You are not doing your part. So you have to come back and pay with penalty. Because you have to learn the lesson also. The penalty is there for you to learn the lesson. Again, the penalty is not punishment. The penalty is there so that you learn the lesson, so that you don't repeat the same mistake, so that you become responsible. So you should not take things for granted, my dear friends. Nature is supporting us. The whole life force energy, the trees, the plants, everything is supporting our life journey on the planet Earth. So you have to do your bit to take care of the nature, to keep the environment clean. Take care of the plants, take care of the animal kingdom, take care of the fellow human beings. Do your part to take care of others. That is seva. When you do something for the welfare of others, it can be anything. It can be humankind, mankind, animal kind, plant kingdom. It can be anything. So do your part to take care of others. And when you serve others unconditionally, you experience God in everybody. You experience yourself in everybody. You will experience that the other person is not separate. You can see yourself in the other person. This you will have only when you experience it. You will understand this only when you experience it. That's why every religion, Christianity, Hinduism, Islam, they emphasize on sharing their income. Every penny you earn, minimum 10%, 15%, 20%, at least 10% should go for the welfare of the society. It is your choice who you want to give. But your earnings, a part of it should go for the welfare of the society, for the good things. That is how you experience the oneness. You experience the whole world as one family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This is the ultimate bliss. Mark my words. Unless you are in the path of service, you don't know what bliss is. You don't know what real joy is unless you are in the path of service. You don't need to dedicate your entire life to service. But whatever you can afford, the time, the energy, the wealth, the money, whatever you can afford, you share it with others. Don't overdo it. Do what you can, you do it. You have to do it. So this is a very important pillar. The core of spirituality is service. So that is the fourth pillar. So when all these four pillars are strong, then you become a perfect master. You are no more in the superficial periphery. You are in the core. You are in the center of spirituality. And then it benefits you, it benefits others. Then that becomes the final lifetime. When you meditate for yourself intensely, you are an arihant. When you teach meditation to all the people around you, you are a bodhisattva. When you teach meditation and do seva, service to all the people around the world, then you become a Buddha. Arihant, bodhisattva, Buddha. You are focused only on your meditation. You are an arihant. You are doing your meditation, simultaneously you are helping others around you. You are a bodhisattva. But you want to teach spiritual science and meditation to everybody all around the world. Either you are teaching meditation or you are supporting people who is teaching meditation. Both are the same. Okay. You get the benefit of it. Either you should teach meditation or you support the people who are teaching meditation, or you support the organizations who are spreading meditation. That is the right thing to do. Okay. Now we have discussed the pillars, the core. Now there are a few points to remember for the self-mastery process. Few points. Point number 1. Think twice before you open your mouth. These are all very practical points which will help you in this mastery, self-realization process. Think twice before you open your mouth. Point number 1. Which means don't unnecessarily open your mouth. You have to think twice before you open your mouth. Point number 2. No judgment. Don't judge yourself, no self-judgment, and don't judge others. No judgment. You are perfect as you are, the other person is perfect as they are. Instead of focusing on others, focus on yourself. Third point. Focus on yourself instead of focusing on others. The second point is no judgment. The third point is always focus on yourself instead of focusing on others. Don't worry about your partner's spiritual journey. Don't worry about your wife. Don't worry about your husband. They have their own journey. They have their own free will. They have their own astral masters to guide them. They have their own law of karma to teach them. You focus only on yourself. The next point, always do your best and leave the rest. If you don't do your best, then you might regret, you might feel guilty. But when you do your best, then there is no possibility for regret or guilt. Okay, always do your best. Whatever is your best today, whatever is your better knowledge, do it. Whatever you act according to your better consciousness. Do your best and leave the rest. Don't look back. Don't look back and say, I should have done it. I should have done this. No. Do your best and leave the rest. Are you doing meditation today? Are you reading books today? Are you doing your seva today? Do your best and leave the rest. When you integrate these simple things, very practical, which you can integrate it in your daily life. When you do these things, then very naturally, you grow spiritually. And also, when it comes to another important point is male, female, right? See, as a soul, the soul is neither male nor female. In the higher worlds, the soul is neither male nor female. But when you come to the earth, we take a male body and we take a female body. Suppose we have 400 incarnations. 200 incarnations will take as male and 200 incarnations will take as female. because it is necessary to have both the experiences of male and female. And finally, in the final lifetimes, you have to become androgynous. Androgynous means Ardhanarishwara, meaning you are both male and female. That means you are fused, like Shiva and Parvati, Shiva and Shakti. Purusha, Prakriti has to be fused. It has to become one. Then you merge with the God consciousness. That becomes your final lifetime. So every male has to learn from a female, and every female has to learn from a male. Every male has to support a female, and every female has to support a male. This is a very interesting spiritual core. This is the core. Sometimes people say, okay, I don't want samsara. I don't want marriage. I'll go to Himalayas, I'll go to forest, I'll meditate and I'll get enlightened. You can get enlightened, but you have to come back again. Your enlightenment is not complete. With your intense sadhana, you will get enlightenment, but it is not complete. You have to be born again, and you have to be in samsara. Without being in samsara, the highest nirvana is not possible. Underline this. Without being in samsara, the highest nirvana is not possible. So instead of complaining about your wife or husband, be in samsara, because only in samsara the highest nirvana is possible. And when I say you can learn from you should learn, every female should learn from the male and every male should learn from the female. I'm not only mentioning about the husband-wife relationship. I'm mentioning about all the close relationships. You have to go beyond the masculine and feminine, then only you become androgynous. The masculine and feminine should be fused, should get into the one consciousness. I will maybe take a separate sequence for this masculine and feminine, the relationships, and the male-female. That can be for another day. But the important point to understand is there should be no hatred. There should be no hatred towards the opposite sex. There should be no hatred. And you should always embrace. You should always learn. Every husband should learn from the wife, and every wife should learn from the husband. Every female should learn from the male, and every male should learn from the female. You can say that, sir, in my family, my husband is not understanding. He's cold-hearted. His heart is like stone. So, but he's a victim of his own past. He's the victim of his own past. So it is your job to show compassion towards him. And when you support him, you will receive the support in return. And that support, the male support, will help you in your enlightenment process also. So embrace the samsara. Again, you don't need to stick on to a toxic relationship. Don't get confused. Don't stick on to the toxic relationship. I'm not saying be in an abusive relationship. No. But all I'm saying is you have your free will. When a relationship is very abusive, you have the free will to go away from the relationship. You have all the free will. But why did you attract the toxic relationship in the first place? So there is something for you to learn. No complaints, no judgments. No complaints and no judgments in any of the situations. In any situations within the family, within the samsara, there should be no complaints and there should be no judgments. So this is the core of spirituality. Okay. So tomorrow being the last day, the whole day of tomorrow, we will have questions. And with the right questions, we will have the right understanding. Okay. So whatever we have learned and understood today, you integrate it with a few minutes of meditation. So now let us do 15 minutes of meditation. and integrate it. Just be a witness to your breath and integrate all the understanding. Sink in. When you hear the truth again and again, you get absorbed. The truth gets absorbed into your being. So drink some water, sit comfortably. Let us do 15 minutes meditation and we'll finalize the session. And if you have any questions, please write down the questions and tomorrow you have the opportunity. Now let us sit for meditation. Drink some water, sit comfortably. Closing your eyes and just be with your normal, natural breath. Every time you are sitting for meditation, you are increasing your energy. You are going deep into your own being. You are going to the core of yourself. Kindly be with your breath, my dear friends. Don't open your eyes. Only 15 minutes. Let us meditate. Group meditation. Gently place your hands on your eyes. You may slowly open your eyes whenever you're ready. Okay, friends, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening, night, or day in whichever part of the world you are in. Namaste to all, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.